very important. It's
You
very
better
important.
look up some words.
Yeah, I mean, I used to study. Well, that was one of the when I read the message to the black man. That's something that I took out of that
Okay.
studying words.
Yes.
Because at one time our people were unlettered. We couldn't read. I mean, well, we wasn't great readers. And then when the people that became great readers, as I said this last week, they used to call it, "Oh, you trying to talk white." But I used to actually believe that until I got to jail, and the brother said, "No, that's that slavery mentality that
right.
No, brother, it's called speaking intellectually
Intelligent.
or speaking intelligently or enunciating words. Now, of course, we did not master the English language. So, of course, we may say some words like ginger ale. I've been saying ginger ale for 1,000 years until I got older and I looked at the can and it said ginger ale. Like, wait a minute.
Right.
So I was putting a railing on it for so many years.
For real.
Honestly. And I'm going to tell you another word that I used to get misconstrued was, I used to say Pacific.
Right.
All the time, just not being conscious
right.
until a young lady, the ladies are the ones that are cry cheeky you all the time. Well, you got to misspell. No, but that's good. Thank you.
I'll
go
but
on
I
at
say
it.
it wrong. Right.
Well, sometimes especially if you use speech text or you type it in Facebook, you got to watch that because it might make a word.
Right.
It might make it a word that it's a word, but it's not what you was trying to say.
Right. It ain't the word you want. Right.
Yeah.
And my aunt said to stop doing the things that cause you stress. How about I get rid of the people that cause me stress? How about that? That sounds
well,
better.
Auntie, let me say this, Auntie. Auntie, sometimes now let me just say this. Now, like a girlfriend, boyfriend, or a husband or a wife. Both parties gonna stress each other out.
Right.
So you don't get rid of them. You gain mastery.
And
You adapt to. Now, if it's something that's not detrimental, like abuse, don't ever accept abuse. Physically, spiritually, or mentally. Don't accept abuse. Have he physically beaten on you or if she physically beating on you, busting your windows out and all that? No.
Nah.
Gain mastery.
Unacceptable.
Gain mastery. But don't adapt to it. Move away.
You might have to gain mastery like Shaolin, the karate master.
No, I
right?
mean, it's real. It's real. You know how many people that I talk to that go through stress? Like, I got a good friend of mine, and I seen him on my live, so I wanted to give him a shout out. Shout out Kern Bradley. He didn't have to be a coach. First of all, the coaches at the Oak Lane Wildcats and every other football organization in the city of Philadelphia, they don't get paid to coach these children.
Right.
They take it upon themselves. First of all, they might have grew up in the area or they got some type of feeling inside themselves where they say, I got to help strengthen the youth.
Right.
And I love that. So for all the coaches, no matter what football team you coach, I want to applaud y'all for, giving back to the community and spending your leisure time helping that child. Whether you ever played football and you was good at it.
Right.
Because some of y'all coaches was not good at playing football.
That's why they out there coaching.
I mean, well,
They trying to get back.
Well, some of them, I think
They
some
might
of them
learn later.
Yeah, some of them want to be able to see a kid through college and see a kid through high school,
Right.
and eventually maybe be in the pros.
Absolutely.
I get it.
Absolutely. I think that being a coach probably helps the coach more than it helps the student to an extent, because especially if you were someone who tried so hard to get there and you didn't, you might say, I'm going to go back into the community and I'm going to help these youth get there. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm going to help them do what I wasn't able to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that kind of goes like parenting too.
No, I do.
You know what I mean?
They do.
Because if you're a good parent, you will want for your children what you didn't have for yourself. And I don't mean material stuff. You
No,
know
that's
what
true.
I mean? I'm speaking as far as being better educated. You
Right.
know what I mean? Or being a business owner or other things. You know what I mean? That's the goal as a parent, to make your child be the next step. You know what I mean? Or at least most parents.
So
I
you
would
said
say
if
would
you're a good
strive for
parent.
that. Some
Do you-
parents, listen,
There's
everybody
some
ain't
bad
a good
parents.
parent. I'm not gonna say everybody. Some parents is just everybody ain't
It's
a
a
good
shame.
parent, and you feel bad for the children when you see them in a situation with parents that are, but you don't know what those parents went through.
Yeah, but
You know what I'm saying?
I gotta say this. I'm not turning. If I was to start all over, if my son was a young guy, and I seen him smoking weed, indulging in guns, or being in that, I would try in my best to move him out of the area.
Right.
And I know that's not easy for everybody to do. But let me say this. You have to try. If you know that your child is getting into all kinds of dangerous situations by your environment, you just being lazy and you don't want to take the chance to try to move them out of that area.
Absolutely.
Some people just become settled.
Right.
Don't ever become settled. If you see that, like y'all, and it's only black folks complaining about gentrification. I don't hear no Caucasians, Hispanics, or Asians complaining about that.
Yeah, because they ain't going to get redlined.
See,
go there
but it's us that's creating this violence in our own area.
That's absolutely.
So
But,
we gotta work
but let
on
me
us.
just say something.
Sure.
You are a product of your environment.
Absolutely.
You are a product of your environment. And this, it's 2021, almost 2022, right?
Right.
And we still going through situations where it ain't always easy to get up and leave.
I know. That's why I said that.
Listen, I was watching something just talking about resilience. This might be a little bit off topic, but I watch a network called the African History Network, right?
Okay.
They had a family on there who have a home that's worth over $1 million. They bought this house. It's somewhere in California.
Oh, wow.
They bought the house for like $400,000 or something, and they put like $500,000 more in it, building a new, just fixing it up. So they had an appraiser come out and appraised it, right? She only appraised their house for over $100,000 more than what they bought it for.
Mm-hmm. See?
Okay? So what they did was they were upset about it. So they went back and forth with their lender or whatever to send somebody else out. So they asked one of their Caucasian friends to come over and pretend it was their house. She came, made it look like it was her house, put pictures and everything up. The house got appraised for $1.4 million.
Wow.
$1.4 million.
See, I hate to think that.
Because let me say something.
I believe that though.
We hate these topics, but this is what it is in America. It's been this way.
It is.
And the problem is, why don't they really want to see us get ahead? Because you can say, oh, well, you don't make enough, or I made enough. I'm living in an area where the houses is worth $1 million. I put my house in a position to be worth this amount, and whether I want to sell it. And then you come right in, and I done put $400 and some $1,000 worth of work in the house, and you're gonna tell me that it's only worth $100,000 more?
Well, it goes
just because of my skin color, though. It was only because of the skin color. Because why? Because when another person came and the white woman was there,
and no additional work was done.
No, it was only like a couple months later.
Wow.
After they had to go back and forth with the bank to even get them to send somebody else out.
Wow. That
and so they're suing their original appraiser. They're suing her. But it's
she's
just
done. But she got insurance. She's insured.
But the thing is, you can just they keep trying to just kick us down, no matter how far you get.
Let me tell you how I feel about that right now. Me, a person that used to be a homeowner, and from my circumstance now, I'm trying to buy a home. I done bid it $10,000 over asking price, $15,000 over asking price, and still ain't get it. So some. Let me just say this. I'm being all the way honest, and it's Jersey. Let me say this. Sometimes I do feel like, wow, they profiling. And somebody be like, no, they can go by the name. They can go by the name, and I don't know. It's just hard because some of them will say, like, I got a strategy. And some of them say, some of the sellers may say, all right, well, we're going to actually pick who we're going to pick, and we're going to pick the highest.
Right.
Whether it's the highest offer or the best offer. Some of the best offers may be no seller's assist, or maybe, covering certain inspections, which the inspections is where the money is.
Right.
Especially your occupancy.
Right.
That is big. So when you can help them save, I done did so much different strategies. Now I be like, they gotta be profiling.
They absolutely.
It ain't no way in the world. Like, how? And it do get stressful. And I hope to God that they ain't doing stuff like that.
No, they definitely doing stuff like that.
I can believe it.
They
but
definitely doing stuff like that.
Let me say the reason why I'm kind of like shunning it, because we already know that racism still exists. We already know that exists. But I'm the type of person that always want to be optimistic.
Absolutely.
So, and I don't like all these conspiracy theories.
Well, this is the thing. Be optimistic, but be realistic too. Because see, the problem is, let me just say this, EA. The problem is when we don't talk about these things or when we don't address them, they continue to keep happening. Why is it that black people, no matter where they are living at, their financial situations, they still get profiled? It's plain old blatant racism. It's like you can't say it's anything else. But of course, they say, oh well, we can't say it's that because they didn't say a racial slur. You know what I'm saying? So they get you where you gotta say, you know what I mean, the word.
What?
Ninja? Or you gotta
ninja.
say,
Ninja.
Or no, you gotta say I didn't let praise their house for a good value because they're black. Like, who's going to say that?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, people are not going to say these things. And that's where resilience come in with us. Because it ain't people on the earth, you can ask me, that's more resilient than us. These black people over here in America. Because we done been through hell over here, and we still going through hell over here. And I'm not saying that, some of the things we don't bring on ourselves. Mm-hmm. But what I am saying is the practices of this country from hundreds of years ago are still in effect. They're still affecting the laws. They're still in effect in the books. And now they don't want to talk about black, history and things like that. This is a lot of things that's going on in the schools now. Mm-hmm. They don't want to talk about it. Why? Because this is the thing. Well, then don't talk about nothing then. If we can't talk about our history, nobody can talk about the Holocaust. Don't talk about nothing. Don't put none of that stuff in nobody's books.
I will say, I kind of agree with them. Don't talk about it.
But
I don't think that's the right place to talk about it.
Where is the right place?
Let me just say this. Let me give you my opinion. We already are distracted with so much that we live with. So when it comes to school, that's a sensitive place to me for the children. Leave every negative distraction out of the school.
Well, that's what do you
saying.
What do you consider negative? See, that's the whole thing. See,
because we're already angered. We're already living and thriving off the negativity that already been handed down to us spiritually.
That's true.
Stockholm syndrome. All these different phraseologies that they categorize as having. And going through what is it?
ADHD,
HIJKLMNOP. Yeah. They always giving us these alphabets.
They got a medical term.
No, they do, but it is some validity to that. So if it was me, if I could change the world, I would say, teach the children math, teach them science, and teach them biography.
And teach it to them so they don't be confused.
Yeah, but
No, let me say something.
The way we were taught.
No, that was the easiest way. Now they got. Let me tell you, I seen the guy, the comedian Kevin on stage. Mm-hmm. So yesterday he had a video of his son doing a math problem. Right now it was an exponent with the parentheses. The answer was 17 anyway. But the way the kid did it confused the crap out of me. So I said, let me do it the way I know how to do it. Came out with the same answer, but he had all of this jargon to go with it. And I'm like, it's confusing.
Well, I work for a very, very rich family. I always say that. When they was teaching me how to do a certain formula for our clients,
right,
they was adding this zero dot. I said, no, just do 2 times the percent. And I swear, the person that was training me was doing it for 30 years. He swore me up and down, no. I said, well, do it your way and see if you get the same answer.
Right.
When he seen that it was the same answer, he was like, yo.
Right.
I said, because that's the way you were taught.
Right.
That don't make it wrong.
Right.
Because my way, as long as I get the answer, but it is a certain basic way that should be taught because look how cursive. How can you teach a child how to write cursive?
The same way they taught me.
Do you remember?
Yeah, they gave us those little papers, and you had to connect it, and you had to write
With
it
the
down.
squiggly lines.
Yes.
Wow.
Now they're not even teaching. This is the thing. Now they're taking handwriting out of school. A lot of the schools not even teaching the children handwriting, right? So they always on the computer typing and everything. But what about when you got to sign your name?
That's all you got to use it for, though.
But if you don't know,
I was trying to wait for you to finish.
Don't
That's
matter.
all you need it for. You don't need it for nothing else. What else do you need to learn how to write cursive for?
Because it might
besides
be,
signing your name.
Because you know why? Because it's gonna be something.
No, it ain't.
It's gonna be something
Name
that
it.
you needed.
And one of these smart
or
people
John
on your live,
Hancock. Come on.
please tell us what else. What else do you need?
What do we need cursive for? Because
Yes,
it looks nice.
I just want one person to tell me. Then
We need
please.
somebody to come on.
Tell
on,
me.
Tell
We on
tell
her
us what
live.
we need.
we
what
on
need
that. And we
cursive
trying
for.
to figure it out. Absolutely.
But even if it's your signature,
I need to know. That's just one. Now you got DocuSign. Before it wasn't. Before it was frowned upon. Now it's not.
here go the laziness again with the DocuSign. Nah, because that ain't my signature.
I'm just saying.
But I'm just saying, like, I think that the children still need to know how to write.
Why?
Because.
Long as they know the alphabet.
What if you ain't got a computer and you can't type it?
Print it. You don't have to write it in
Do
cursive.
you see these kids print?
Well, let me just say you this.
Jeez.
I had 110 model applications. I could not understand the cursive writing. So I couldn't understand the email addresses. So when we had 60 of them come last week and we got to wait till the other 60 come, I had everybody, please come grab your application and write it like you're in the third grade. They bust out laughing, but I was serious. Write it this big. Because everybody got this fancy writing nowadays and you can't understand it.
Whatever. I'm laughing because I know
'Cause I'm
that
just-
my signature is like.
Mine's is too. Mine's is
It's
too.
crazy.
My
'Cause
signature.
I've been getting in practice to sign autographs my whole life. with
No, my signature is crazy. Look at mine's.
Oh my God! What do that say? Scribble, scribble.
No, but I can point out every letter
Because you know it.
because I know it.
But
And
I bet you
and-
if somebody would have, if you would have wrote like that on the application, somebody would be looking at you like you crazy too, right?
No,
Mm-hmm.
because I can
You
write
got
it a million
applica-
times and it's gonna always be the same.
No, but I'm saying
It's on every bank account I got, on my signature cards and everything. So you will never be able to duplicate that. Because guess
Exactly.
what? One of those lines is gonna be off. And if I write it and say, no, that's not an exact match, because I've been writing that signature for over 20-something years now.
Okay, but per se, you wrote that down and somebody didn't know who you were, and you wrote that. Do they know what that say?
Well, it's only for the person that's endorsing what I want. Long as they know what it is, long as I can give you my driver's license that matches that cert, and also my trustworthiness matches that signature.
Okay.
Because that's what it's all about. That's why they judge you on a behavioral score. That's why they judge you with your ABCs.
They always giving somebody a score or something.
Well, I told you.
They
Remember, I
just-
broke that down to the kids.
Yes.
You're still being scored
We're always being scored.
from the day you born until the day you die.
When they sign your name on that birth certificate, your mom don't even know she's signing the contract.
Yeah, well,
We
do you disagree with that?
This is the part I disagree with.
It's too many millions of you sons of guns.
This the part I disagree
White,
with.
black, Asian, Hispanic.
So they take
to
they
keep a track
when
with
they
y'all.
when we sign this when we sign these contracts for our
Mm-hmm.
children, these birth certificates, there's money attached to every last person.
Mm-hmm.
But we can't have it. They use it for other people to use for us, like banks and all that. But we can't get the money. So my thing is, if you gonna make me sign this contract, give me some money. Give me a couple dollars. Like
But
I want to
they-
be like they do in Dubai.
Yeah.
Like they do, yeah. Why they can't do that over here? Because we supposed to be the richest country in the land. You know why we the richest country in the land? Because we don't pay nobody shit.
No, we don't.
We keep all the money, or they have all of these grants that say there's grants out there that can pay all your bills in your house. There's things out there that you can do that why you gotta have all this fancy grant stuff? Why you can't?
Well, that sounds like welfare to me. And welfare should be only used
Oh well, then
when
Walmart.
you at your critical state
Well,
until
then that
you
means
bounce back.
oh no, that means Apple don't get no government money. That means Microsoft don't get no government money. Google, none of these big time, because they all get money from the government. They all get money from the government. They don't call it welfare. What do they call it when they get it from the government? Yeah, right.
I get it.
That's all our money that
Well, let me just tell
our
you,
birth
sister,
certificates is attached to.
Let me tell you, sister, based on your topic, you need to gain mastery. You got to learn to adapt. I stopped counting the government's money, his and her money, long time ago. I don't feel like I'm entitled to nothing but loyalty.
No, it's yours.
I'm not even entitled to love no more. I don't want love. Don't show me love. Because every time I was in love with something, it broke my heart. I don't like the word love. Show me loyalty. Mm-hmm. I'd rather have loyalty than love.
Well, if somebody's loyal to you 9 times out of 10, they got some type of love for you.
Well, no, because a complete stranger can have love for you. A complete stranger can have love for you, watching you from a distance, like Mike Jervis.
I don't want no stalkish ass lovers.
Like Mike. We don't know Mike from a can of Adam. But watching him on the news.
We love to watch him on the news.
Bang, you show love to him.
That's what I'm saying.
Because his personality is tremendously great as a human being. So we show him love.
Right.
But you're not loyal to him. That comes with
knowing
experience.
But that comes with knowing a person.
But it comes with time. It comes with the development of being trustworthy.
Absolutely.
So love, you can give love to a complete stranger. Oh, them sneakers is hot. Yo! So showing you love because they hot. First of all, I seen them. They silver. I like colors. But that don't mean that's not a form of loyalty.
But that ain't really love. That's just like
that is love. That's like when look up the word love.
Oh Lord.
I mean, because
it ain't really.
You got to understand what words is. Yeah, it's a definition.
Love has so many.
You got to understand it. I mean, you do. You know, to be very, very honest. You know, my computer keep timing out for some reason on the Wi-Fi.
The same thing.
Yeah, we're doing it all week. But let me just use my cellular device. Meaning of love.
Let me see.
I just want to see
an intense feeling of deep affections. Babies feel parents with feelings of love. A great interest and pleasure in something.
What else?
Love sports.
What's the verb of it? Go ahead.
The verb
that was the noun aspect
feel
of it.
Deep affection for someone.
What's the other one? Similar.
Be in love with. Be infatuated with. Be smitten with.
Like or enjoy very much.
Be sutted. I've never heard that word.
Now, let me look up loyalty.
Oh, I just love.
Break it down. Go ahead.
Let's say. Hold up. Because you know Webster changed their dictionary definition.
Yeah, they do. They do. I got it.
They ain't changed.
The quality of being loyal. A strong feeling of support or allegiance.
Right.
Like, how can you, right? What's the real meaning of love?
With
Hold
that
on.
Word allegiance.
The state of quality of being loyal, faithfulness to commitments or obligations.
Unswerving in allegiance,
See?
such as faithful in allegiance in one's lawful sovereign or government.
See, I'd rather have loyalty than love. Like, and you as a woman, you would rather have love because that love,
No, I don't know.
It did something to the psyche, right?
Nah, it depends on who's loving you.
Listen.
I don't want everybody to love me.
No, be loyal to me. Be loyal to me. Because that means that person that you got love for too, when you're not around me.
Right.
If you're loyal to me, you're going to be loyal even if you love something else.
Right.
You know, and that's what happens in a lot of relationships when we get to a point where we feel like you can't take it no more. I'm going through abuse. I'm going through this. It's not working. How do you adapt? That's what this whole topic of discussion. First of all, that's why I want to stay with mastery. Learn to adapt. Like, honestly, our foremothers and forefathers had to adapt. Can you imagine? I don't like to talk about slavery. Because we can say what we would have done and what we would have did.
You would have did what they did, what a lot of them did, because you know why? They didn't know no better. See, only the very first ones were aware of what was going on with them. They were being snatched
But
out
the
of there.
ones that was
But
being
the ones
born
came
into
after,
it,
you know, one of those things that they did was,
They-
okay, we're going to take the babies. Because these people that's fighting us, that's rebelling, because there were plenty of rebellions, they know who they are. So we got to take their kids away. When we take their children away, their children don't know who they are. We're going to raise their babies up in this. And they're going to believe that this is right. That goes to what we're experiencing still to this day
No, that's true.
in this country, because our children, like you said, a lot of them don't know about Martin Luther King, or they heard him but they don't really understand. They don't understand how resilient he was, getting bottles thrown at him, kicked, you know, brought in to change agendas. A lot of people don't know that he was brought in to change agendas. You know, when he did that march on Washington, that really wasn't his thing.
The first march or the second march?
No, when he did the one where he said,
You know, it was a few marches.
They had,
Okay.
but the one where he had the I Have a Dream speech, that technically wasn't their march. That technically was a whole bunch of other black people saying, we tired of this bullshit.
Right.
We going down Washington. We going, and they was like, whoa. They listen to you. We need you to come in here, and then they'll come and listen to you. And it changed the whole, you know, it wasn't his fault. He tried to.
Right, no, I get it.
You know, but they
It's
knew.
a lot of finger pointing at
Yeah.
Jesse Jackson. It's a lot of finger pointing. I don't like to get into that
but
because
no,
everybody
but I'm
got
just
their
saying
opinion.
it comes with the resiliency.
It do.
Because he had to be a very resilient person to have to go back and forth. And he was young. You know, you don't realize, I knew he was his age, but it wasn't until I got older that I realized that I lived longer than Dr. Martin Luther King.
Ain't that crazy?
You know, what was he, like 40 something? Late 30s, early 40s? But he had such a profound effect on us. When he spoke, he just sounded like he was so much older. His knowledge and wisdom was like he was so much older. You know what I'm saying? So you think about, oh, he died, but he wasn't even 40 yet. If I'm not mistaken, I don't even think he was 40 when he died.
It's a shame. Wow.
But he was a trailblazer for us. Lots of things changed because of him. You know what I'm saying? And lots of things didn't. You know what I'm saying? But it's like he put forth the effort.
No, he did.
He put forth the effort. Now
He did the best.
He did,
put
and
forth
now it's so
effort.
much of us we don't see that anymore. Like I'm not gonna say there's nobody out there speaking, but to the effect that he
Of his
had on
well,
people.
no, we do. They just silenced him.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, and you know what I always used to say, honestly? Just overstanding, like Farrakhan and Elijah Muhammad, and I don't believe in a lot of this stuff. I wish that, well,
It's confused. I mean,
no, it's just, I know why they had to come out with that Caucasians were devils. I know why they were saying that, but not all Caucasians are devils.
Right.
First of all, the devil's in every last human being, period. So I would have came out differently. I used to always just say, I wish they would have came out with a different, but then no, this is my little studies and talking to a lot of guys that came up during that time, really talking, and I'm talking about the real guys that really was in the trenches at that time. They were saying, and from what I read out of the book, the mindset of the black man was so torn that they had to go in the way they went in.
Right.
First of all, we was perming our hairs.
right.
We thought it was okay. We was using oven cleaner.
They had to go in with like a fear, like a rah, like you
Yeah,
gotta
like
get-
no,
yeah.
You know, I used to have brothers that was in the jail. They say, "Brother, get up off your knees and stop praying to something that's already inside of you." I used to take that offensive, like what? But instead of them saying it the different
Right,
way,
right.
I get what they were trying to say, but they were too aggressive.
Too aggressive with it.
Too aggressive. Like I asked my daughter, and I asked her, I said, she in 11th grade, be going to 12th grade. She'll be a senior. I said, in school, do people talk about religion? She said, not really. People be more in tune with the earth. I ain't going to get all the way
Right,
what she said.
right.
When she said it, I was like, wow,
Wow.
interesting. And she go to a predominantly Caucasian school.
Right.
I know what the
They on a
urban schools
stereotype.
is more
Right.
into, because I know what our people is more
Right.
gearing into, monotheism.
Right.
You know, a lot of us still adapt to a religion.
Right.
I like religions because without religions, you wouldn't have that format.
Chaos.
You wouldn't have the blueprint. Like if you don't know how to change a tire, you can go to Google, you can go to YouTube and put in, how do I change a tire? It's someone that put that information out there for you to know how to do it. One-on-one. We need the information.
All right.
You know, I would have did it a different way. So right now, how do these young guys adapt to not having poverty? Because the reason why, like, the guy that was outside, coming outside on his wedding and got robbed of his Rolex.
Wow.
You ain't hear about that?
No.
You really don't watch the news.
No, I don't watch the news.
It's a couple that got his Rolex, he was outside. I don't know if he was smoking a cigarette, whatever he was doing outside to get some air. Two bulls walked up on him, robbed him, and took his $30,000 Rolex.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You can't even.
It's all, you can pull up the news right now. It's probably playing again.
Wow. I didn't hear it. Well, I don't
Yeah, I forgot what restaurant it was. Everybody know. I know it. You probably they probably putting it on the comments.
Did you
right
guys
now.
hear that?
Yeah, they heard it.
I didn't hear anything. About
Yeah.
that.
So let me just say this. The reason why all these robberies is going on, these shootings and all these home invasions, it started out because of poverty.
Yeah, that's the number one.
If the government, state municipalities, city municipalities, I don't care who it is, if you can structure, next week I'm gonna bring a pamphlet on how many organizations got money from the government to stop gun violence. Some got $500,000, 300,000. I'm naming them all. I got it in my car, but it's too late to go get it now because I want to start from the beginning.
Okay.
So we're gonna put y'all on Front Street on who all got this money, like 100 black men. Right. The whole corporation got 400 and something thousand. We know what they doing with the money.
Right. We can see
I'm helping them.
We see it.
And I ain't getting paid nothing because I see their work that they're doing in the street.
And more people need to send their son.
Yeah, man. I had an older person call me today. I thought she was calling about entering her kids into the fashion show at the Met. Right. No, she said, is this 100 black men? I was impressed.
Right.
Because I'm like, oh, man, but I do work with them.
Right.
You know, she said, I have 3 young men. They're my grandsons. I want to enroll them.
Absolutely.
I call Brother Joe fast.
Yes.
Because that's why I say the men ain't going to do it. The men is too pressed inside themselves, don't know how to gain mastery, don't know how to be honest with themselves and say, I suffer from depression. Mm-hmm. I was one of the first ones, I think, that's from looked at as a gangster, old school gangster, thoroughbred, you know, somebody that's cool.
Right.
To go nationally on a public application called Facebook and say, yes, I have suffered for the last 3 years from depression.
Right.
And when I said it, I swear to you, some days I cry to myself so bad. And then the very second I be like normal.
Right.
It's my emotions taking over me.
Right.
But I learned how to cope with them. These young kids that's going through what they going through, first of all, some of them on Percocets, they on dope, they on fentanyl. So they don't have no other way to get money. This is why they got to go out and rob. Right. Some of them ain't even on drugs. They just want to smoke weed. They want to have the money in their pocket. So they not educated enough to go look for a job.
Right.
Because the resources ain't out there. I don't care what you say, OIC. And I know y'all out there. Y'all the only company that I know that existed when I was a kid. And my mother used to always say, you either going to Job Corps, if you don't go to school, or you going to OIC.
Right.
I didn't have, right now these kids don't have no options, but jail or school. They got jail or school. Jail or school. So the ones that don't want to go to school, they taking a risk.
Right.
They're trying to duck the crimes they're doing. So they think that they really not going to be subject to the penitentiary or 6 and Green. You could call, and it's some of our nephews, cousins, sons, brothers. That's why I say, go back to, if you want to start healing process from all this gun violence that's going on, let the mothers, the females, take control. Not the ones that's ignoring her son, running in and out of the basement, all times of the hour of the night, or she upstairs with her boyfriend, and she know he got a gun. Right. Look at that young boy. The young man, he was 16 years old with a gun. The 16 or 17, the 15-year-old. He was a Caucasian young boy. The parents bought the gun for him.
They
lied how he got it and everything.
They encouraged that.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yep, they damn near.
So don't be pointing at that Caucasian parent, that Caucasian father or that mother, because y'all doing the same thing.
Yep.
Y'all know y'all kids don't got no job. You leaving out, going to work, coming home. He doing the same thing. You smelling weed on his clothes. What you think he doing?
Listen.
He conspiring for the dumb stuff.
But look what they did to this parents. That's what I commended. They said, "Oh, we're gonna lock them up."
They should have.
We're gonna go lock.
They should lock them up.
And I was very
now.
surprised.
Let me say this, you
like,
black
I ain't
people.
Gonna lie.
You black people.
Because if they start doing that, when they,
this is my joking way, because I'm black all day, and don't judge me. Soon's your son shoots somebody, get caught with some drugs, or your daughter, free him, let him out. No. I mean, he just punched his girlfriend in the face. He just raped that little girl. She just bust that husband's windows out and shot him.
Free ya.
We gotta stop
the bullshit.
Stop.
For real.
Stand what you do and what you say.
Yeah.
There are consequences for all mankind, not just men, but women too.
Yes.
And how do you help yourself? And it ain't never too late, no matter what your age is. Educate yourself. Education will help you duck the BS. So if you don't have no money and you need something to eat, look what I used to have to do. My mother used to give me a note, and I used to go to the corner store and say, "Here you go." I didn't have to read it. Pass it to the man. And I used to stand there in his face, waiting to see what he say. And we never got told no.
Right. So,
and I said this before, on her note was a pound of American cheese, a pound of turkey breast. It may not be, I don't know what kind of meat it was, to be honest. A loaf of bread, it was Bonton bread, the king size, a Pepsi, a pack of 7-100s, and she always could say, I used to ask her, "Can I get a Snicker?"
Right.
I swear to God on my mother's grave. And she always let me get a Snicker. So thank you, little Jewish man at the corner store.
Right. See, the thing is, they allowed that then. But see, people shit up. See, they ain't doing that no more.
Tabs. Ain't no more tabs.
But I'm going to tell you something. If you're hungry these days, too many people giving out free food on the streets. I see it. I see it all the time.
John Harrell from TCRC, the Healing Center, they give out food distribution. Sometimes he'll drop off cases right here. We just had a bunch of cantaloupes, whole pineapples, cashews. We had trays of food from this other organization. Like, no, you can go. It's a lot of food banks now.
It's food
so
out there.
You can't say you starving.
I mean, if you want,
y'all just want.
I mean, if you ain't gonna be picky, there's some stuff out there for you. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
But you know, it's that goes with the resilience too. Because what you gonna do when your back's against the wall? Because we get too prideful. We get too prideful, and we say, "Oh, they giving out food. I ain't gonna get that." And we don't get it. If you hungry, you better go get that food.
You better go get that food. Or if you too prideful, as you use the phrase, do this. Go to Walmart, go to any store, get a case of waters. You can get a 72 case of water. Maybe not now. Maybe you get it for $10.
Go to BJ's,
used to be $3.
You can get it for $4.
It's 72 bottles of water. Go out there, don't be on drugs, with a real sign, and say, "I'm selling these waters because I don't have a job, and I know they only cost $10, but I'm trying to earn income."
For real.
I will pull over immediately and give you $5 for one of those waters. And I'm quite sure everybody that read that sign and look at you and you don't look like you on drugs,
they will buy a water.
They will buy a water. They will buy a juice. They will buy a candle. They will buy a tube of toothpaste. They will buy a bottle of dishwashing liquid.
They'll buy it. My brothers used to say, when one of my brothers first came, my youngest brother, when he first came home from the penitentiary, that's what he did. He sold water.
Absolutely.
And I remember one day he made $1,200 in one day.
I believe you.
And he was like, "Sis, look how much I made in one day from selling water."
Bless his heart.
Listen.
Maybe we need to start. You know what?
Listen, he turned into a whole
Maybe we need
business.
to start. You know how we're doing, giving away LLCs at the fashion show?
Right.
For every sponsor to help us, you know, we're trying to give away 25 to 50 LLCs to any child to have a business proposal for a business. We're trying to do that with the proceeds from the Met, the fashion show, the Philly Storm of Fashion. So make sure you get with Sister Khadijah.
Yes.
Make sure you get with her. If you're a sponsor, even if you want to donate $500.
Yes.
Know that your $500 is going to go towards, I'm going to keep it real, $300 of that may pay for 2 LLCs. You know what it costs.
Yes.
You can write specifically. See, I would have said Pacific back in the day. You can write, now I'm conscious. You can write specifically what you want your money to go to.
Right.
And you can record and I will sign a contract saying that it will be done.
Right.
But please help us. We're looking for sponsors.
Absolutely.
Sponsorship package start from $250 to $5,000.
Now go on my if you guys go on my Facebook page, I have quite a few posts for the Philly Storm of Fashion. So if you guys want to donate, sponsor, please do. EA is doing this. It's mostly youth. Am I right? It's mostly youth models.
It's youth. It's kids and adults.
Okay.
What I like mainly about the fashion show is the children.
Right.
But I like the adults. We got some older models, 60, 70. And when I tell you that they put it on, they say it makes them feel alive again.
Right.
And I love it.
Right.
But I do love the 7-year-old models when they be really, really good at what they do.
They be working it.
And then some of the parents that came and told me that you inspired my children so much. Because now when they come home, they don't want to hang in the streets no more. They want to either come and watch YouTube modeling or they want to go in the mirror. It created some type of, power. Absolutely. Where they know that they're beautiful. Where one young lady the mom told me that my daughter never felt pretty.
Wow.
It hurt my heart so bad. It made me cry. She said, and while she was telling me, I was on the phone with tears in my eyes. And her exact words was, my daughter used to have trouble in school being bullied. And she used to always be told that because she's a dark-skinned young lady, that she's not pretty. But now, being as though she's putting a little creativity in herself, she's getting more attention from the boys. And now she feels like she's pretty. Right. That's a shame.
And it is a shame because kids is cruel. Kids can be cruel.
That's what I like about fashion show. Fashion is our number one passion, and it builds up a state of felicity for every male and female. So please support us.
Yes, Philly Storm of Fashion, guys. Check that out, Philly Storm of Fashion. And like I said, it's on my Facebook page. And if you guys want to donate or sponsor, inbox me, let me know. And
Straight to her.
Information right over to EA.
And remember, next week, we're showing every organization that's in our city that got paid money to supposedly stop gun violence.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to name them all. And if they're in your area, and if you have an idea, that's what that money is sent to them for.
Yeah.
Not to just put it into their bank accounts or their business accounts, just to hold it. No, go if you need flashlights, if you have a community and you need flashlights at night when you're inspecting something, go to them and say, we need 12 flashlights. Whatever it is that you need that's supposed to help reduce gun violence, I can't wait. I can't wait till next Monday. God willing that we're alive. I can't wait.
Yeah, so I want to thank you guys for tuning in to WillPower UnSurfaced. It's been a great show. Pleasure as always, EA. We will be
every
back,
Monday.
We will be back here next
Absolutely.
Monday, 6 p.m. with that list of all the agencies in Philly. They got their $100,000 to stop the gun violence.
No, they got way more. Y'all gonna be shocked, and I'm naming them.
Some of them got more than that, but we're going to see it because EA gonna put us on. So we'll see you guys next week.
Absolutely, and I'm bringing copies.
WillPower UnSurfaced.
Absolutely.